Hey, Dragon Metals here. Today I will be tearing down the Xbox 360. I've got a couple to tear down, so we'll find out what good precious metal materials for recovery inside are any useful bits. It can be resold and such. With that back of it. Not many screws on the outside of these things, they sort of crack open. Side. It's already been opened here, I look at it. Ready to open, as I've said. Try not to cut this off again. I hate opening these things. That's the way I'm trying to open it. Sides off. Okay. Hey, looky. These things are always evil to open. So strength to it, we got it. Yeah, man. No, damn it, crack back in. Side bent off. Wow. Yay, slowly gaining access to this thingy. Plastic. One of the more evil things invented. Also, they're never going to get rid of plastic, even though it's probably the cause of all the cancers in the world. But it's also far too useful to get rid of, since most of the world is made of plastic at the moment. Never used to be. It used to be made of this stuff. Metal. Lots of ABS plastic there. More petrochemical plastics. Quite a lot of screws on this, including them nasty evil star screws. Where's the hard drive case? Oh, there it is. Is that it? Yeah, it looks like. Xbox 360 hard drive caddy. Open. That's going to be annoying to open. It doesn't say what gigabytes it is. Of course it doesn't. That's going to be difficult to open that aside. No. Evil star screws. I hate these things. That's not opening. May need a different sort of screwdriver. All star screws, are they? Looks to be. I'm going to need a flathead screwdriver. Big one. These do not want to move. That's just literally bending the screwdriver. Remove the rest of this plastic anyway. Possible. Stuff that we use on that. Ow, that's like razor sharp. That's my phone disliking the impact. Stay. Hot work. That just comes straight off. Oh, what do we have under this? Ooh. That stuff's kind of useful. Got RF shielding and such. Can't see any screws on there. Oh, there may be a screw underneath that QR code thingy. No, there's not. Oh, that was deceptive. I do want to open this case though, because I want to see what gigabyteage this is. Assuming I can open it, which I can't seem to. Can't see any screws in there, so it just must be held on the sides. Might be worth cutting through. Oh, there we go. Plastic obviously isn't that thick. Although these are Japanese steel scissors. What do we have? There's one of them 250 gigabyte ones. Fair enough. Bent by the entrance into this. Should be okay though. If not, electrical scrappage. They make for nice ingots. So what do we have in here? All sorts really. Got the disk drive and a laser inside of here. It's attached by your classic SATA connectors for hard drives and Molex. SATA and a Molex connector. should be a laser inside of this. Well, there will be. Make all sorts of different things out of them. A few cool projects would be probably a CNC laser cutter or laser drawing machine, which can be made from one of these and an Arduino, which is one of those microprocessors. I have a few videos on that, on how to use them, and you'll find that project that I just mentioned all over the place online. Just give it a quick Google. Arduino laser drawing machine or laser cutter. Pretty cool. And made with a lot of recycled components like this. All the screws off that. Yeah. Come on. The screws on the sides. Stuck in there. Some leverage. There we go. What's it stuck upon? Oh, nothing. Nice steel plate. Useful. So there's the laser inside of there. Got the driver board here. Disconnect these ribbon cables. There's silver in these ribbon cables generally. Yeah, we got silver on there. On them strips there. You need a whole lot of ribbon cable to get anything, obviously. And we got gold on the one for the laser right at the top there. It's only trace amounts, but there is still some there. Gold in this chip, or probably this microprocessor here. That is a motor driver, probably contains microscopic amounts of silver. You got, what else have we got here? We got palladium inside of that MLCC capacitor, plenty of resistors and more palladium capacitors surrounding this chip here, which is epoxied in, so that would be difficult to remove. Connectors here, these usually have plating of silver upon them, but you need like 1 billion in order to get much material. Got a crystal fuse here. These generally contain microfilaments of gold or silver inside of the clock mechanism, which you can find a video of. I actually strip some of that out on one of my videos out of, what are they called? Crystal oscillators, that's it. They're the type used in your common household clock. Ribbon cable. The motor there, won't be taking all that apart, the drive, since I've done one before in other videos. We'll get that out of there. Nice little metal case. Put that aside. Generating a little sort of pile of stuff by there. The things that I'm taking out of it. Probably take a little while. Where's my drink? Oh, I've got none left. Oh. I'm thirsty doing this. Right, where next? Got a nice case fan here on top of the heatsink, which will be connected to the CPU. Let's get this thing off the front. That's nice, isn't it? Gold plated panel. Nasty star screws we got here, yeah. Again. Could be worth doing them with pliers. As in removing them with pliers. I might actually have the star screwdriver for these somewhere. Large toolbox downstairs. I generally use flathead screwdrivers like I am now. Where'd that go? Oh, come back here. That's it's a hard drive connector. SATA one again. Disconnect them. Oh, that's a really dinky small SATA connector, isn't it? It's attached by rubber stoppers. I can feel it, it's all squishy. Come on, you move. There's a well stuck in there for a bit of plastic. Trying to see underneath to any access points. Still actually screwed in this. I need to break this plastic off. Or alternatively the screws. What was that? Ah, another screw. See all these screws? These need to go. So I'm going to get a different screwdriver. Oh, pliers. Weird angle. Pliers. If I can get some gripping on them. Once you rotate them a little bit, you can see like that, and you can undo them with crushed. Seems to be attached to something broken. Yeah. Just put a plastic shaft here. Come on. There we go. It's a really long screw. Apparently. Loosen these rest up. Clippers. As I said, I might actually have a crosshead screwdriver, some star screwdriver downstairs. I think I actually do. I'm just being lazy. Still, good alternate technique if you haven't got the screwdriver. So loosen them with a bit of pliers and then go with a flathead. Just loosen them. Just one on there. Come on. Quite stuck in this one. Something attached to the circuit board. Explains why it's so stuck in there. There's a turn. I need to turn that with this. Not enough leverage on that screwdriver. Sort of working. I think that'd spin by hand now, but no. This case material, this stuff's like a steel zinc alloy. It's quite valuable for scrap dealers. You do need a lot of it. That's not going anywhere. I'm going to search for my other screwdriver. Cannot find it. Well, I did find this. Look at that. That should, yes, look at that. There's a very sharp sort of flathead screwdriver. Well, that's turning, but it's not coming out. What's going on there? Oh, there we go. It's on a bit of case that's broken off, same as the others. Still, it's got to come off since it's all secured in. And sort of unconventional, entering this from the back end. This is a CPU here, that's got to come off. That's the big aluminium case cooling heatsink inside. I've melted down loads and loads of them and made all sorts of cool objects. Still, it takes out high temperature, just under 1000 to get a good clean pour from aluminium scraps. There's your bit of pouring metal, it's worth doing. Profitable. Just look up some videos on YouTube. Plenty of money to be made scrapping. Well, that one's well stuck in there and chewed up. In fact, a few of these are chewed up, and it's not me. It's quite busy outside today, but it's very warm. I would prefer to be on my boat, but scrapping today. Oh, come on. Well, scrapping for the last couple of days, actually. So I can have a break from listing stuff on my eBay. Just check that out. Links in the description of this video. And the last one I posted, which I was tearing down, what was I doing yesterday? I can't even remember right now, I'm zoned out. Damn it. Hang on. Abnormally long screws, these. They do not help. Want that off. There's a crystal oscillator there. Those contain silver and a little strip in the middle. Worth getting to. Have to angle that up a bit. Stop that phone thing. need some leverage against myself, otherwise I'm just going to stab myself doing this on a table. Well, I don't want to stab myself with this. So it's this extremely sharp sort of screwdriver thing. Come on, turn. You can be ridiculously tight fit, these star screws. Similar to PlayStation 3's. So, a chunk of plastic that can come off. It's just a light diffuser. Nice plate here. Probably some sort of touch plate. It's either tellurium copper or gold plated. Probably gold plated, very thinly. Crystal that I just mentioned. This is a multicolour LED. You've got loads of LEDs and a little bank here. Tactical switch. There. These tactical switches generally contain silver also on the contacts. Some gold plated connectors in here. Plated. That's a nice bird. Robin. More silver and gold in this microchip. Not much. Need a bucket full of microchips in order to get anything out of. Oh, bits are falling off the outside now. As you can see, this is quite the teardown with this tag. It's taken a long time. Trying to get this board off here, which is looks like Wi-Fi module. I believe this is a Wi-Fi module. Peel that off and it should be like a silver sort of block underneath. Indeed there is. Yep, this is a Wi-Fi module. Good stuff inside of Wi-Fi modules. Usually microscopic amounts of pretty much all the precious metals. For example, you can almost see the gold on this crystal oscillator. You can. This is the crystal oscillator I mentioned. Some of these contain gold or silver. Depends on where it's going inside of the computer. This is a game console though. But same logic applies, since game consoles are just PCs with different software really. And usually a better disk drive and CPU. Which is all for behavioural controls for avatars pretty much. Or graphics rendering, you know, 4K environments and such. Really stick these screws do. Nearly to the main circuit board there. Not too many screws left. Oh, come on. What's going on with you? That's not going anywhere. Loosen them wires, I think. Is that connected to one? Dear. Nowhere. What is that connecting to? Power board. Plastic. Ooh, there's a lovely big case fan there. Will it come off? Should do. Screws underneath that board. Bit of plastic. Yay, case fan. Which is connected underneath there. Of course it is. This middle one here is connected to that screw that's undoable. So I'm going to have to break this plastic off if possible. flip it. The tile board is almost coming out now. Sure. Oh, come on. It's that one there holding most of it. This one screw's managing to hold most of that in place by some miracle. Come on, rotate. Yes. Bit of torque and tension on that. You can see, as it rotating. Whew. See if I can do that with this now. Yay! The evil screw has become undone. Right. Get this plastic nastiness out now. What's that attached to? There might be phantom screws in here. Case fan. It's quite a nice fan, isn't it? They're always handy, these 40mm fans. Not worth too much, but you can sell them in bulk. I do. There's a screw on the side here holding that plastic in place. Really getting on my nerves, these odd placement screws. Half an hour of awkward screws this has been. Yay! Unneeded crap aside. Keep that CD drive. SATA connector. Nothing too special about that, but handy for laptops and such. Coaxial cableage in here. Connected to a sort of grippy thing, don't want that, that's just a chunk of ABS plastic. Great if you've got a 3D printer filament machine though, since you have a lot of filament from that. So there's the circuit board. Should be removable now. Don't see these two screws here, look. It's not going to be removable until I take these two out, is it? Where are my pliers? Don't hope there's a really awkward position. Usually I'd score this with a file. Usually I'd score this with a file in order to make a openable via a flathead screwdriver. Gimbal's all screwed up. Stand. There we go. Typical. Got it. Same for this one. Come on. See, a bit of perseverance so you can get inside of tech that's generally not supposed to be gotten into. Hence the nasty star screws that prevent you from doing much. Come on. That's the circuit board it's connected to. See if I can use these pliers. Get more of a turn on that. Yeah. Running low on time here. Very nearly to the bottom of this though. Oh, come on. cut myself. No. Yeah. It's like a razor sharp, this stuff. This is only the last screw anyway. It's just this case that's ripping my skin to pieces. That's that. Come on. Yay. This board should be entirely loose now. There are no screws securing it, so yay! Nice bit of metal casing there. Although of not so much use. So what do we have here? So we've got the graphics chip here. Inside of there is quite a bit of gold materials, as is there in these sort of chips. The gold corner there, as you can see, that sort of gives it away that there's good stuff inside. Got a piezoelectric buzzer here. These are always handy for little electronics projects. More capacitors. They're okay for silver recovery, but you need a mad amount to get anything, and it's usually all on the legs of these things. Got some MLCCs, capacitors. These contain palladium, only in small amounts, 1 to 2%, but if you've got 100 grams, it's still worth about 50 quid, 50 pounds, so quite a bit, depends on the day. This board seems to be copper, tellurium copper at least, which is a slightly rarer version. On the SAT connectors here we have gold plating, same for all these USB connectors, the HDMI and AVG connector. Copper on these toroidal beads, although I tend to remove these and sell them in like kits because they are good for things like jewel thieves and high voltage projects, and there's very little that can go wrong with a ferrite bead, so since it's just a bit of iron wrapped with copper basically, and some enamel around the iron core. Timing chip, that's the crystal oscillator. There's a tiny strip of silver material inside of them. You can find a video of mine that deals with that, shows how much silver you are in fact get from like 100 of these. More capacitors, bipolar ones. These are your common type capacitors as opposed to these ones that have no plastic covering. What else do we have? Some blocking diodes here, and more capacitor, more MLC capacitors. These things contain palladium, valuable material up there with gold. These are all power transistors, which contain a large amount of copper and sometimes, usually, small amounts of silver. But you need like, no, actually you don't need that much. A couple of kilos will get you a gram or two. Aluminium heatsink. This stuff melts down really well, and you've got the copper heatsink core in the middle. Underneath that there would be the CPU, or the brain of this, of which I need to disconnect. I might be able to before the video ends. Pluck this thing off.